Hi everyone, I'm here today with my amazing client Lena, who had a hypnotherapy session with me a few weeks ago. And I wanted to record that interview because a lot of people are afraid of hypnotherapy, and there is big misconception about what hypnotherapy can do for you. So I thought we're going to discuss how this session went and how it changed Lena's life. I am a rapid transformational therapist, and I help stressed and overwhelmed women to deal with self-doubt and self-sabotage to achieve clarity, recognition, and confidence. So thank you very much for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, my first question is, what made you decide to book in with me?
Yeah, so I met you at a business event, and you were talking about what you do, such as hypnotherapy, and I was quite intrigued by that, especially because I could feel the passion and the enthusiasm from you, and I could tell that you really want to help people. So I was like, well, I tried it before with some trainee hypnotherapy a long time ago, but it didn't work for me. So I was quite curious, and quite frankly, with my issue of overwhelm, I been dealing with it for so long that I just got to the point that I was like, I've got nothing to lose. I can only gain, so why not?
Yeah. So can you tell me more what was happening in your life that you decided to make the move and take a risk?
So basically, it was about after a month of the lockdown, and as everybody knows, the situation was very uncertain, quite chaotic. Nobody knew what was happening. So I was dealing with quite a lot in my personal life, work life, economy, chaos, basically. And on the top of it, because I was working from home, suddenly I had a bit of extra time because I didn't have to travel. But at the same time, because I follow what's going on in self-development industry, and I'm also interested in property investment, etc. I, all of a sudden there was so much content being pumped out, and I was trying to be on every webinar and listen to everything and to do everything, and it just created enormous pressure for me and overwhelm, and I was like quite confused. It was like, I no longer know what I want. What do I focus on? What do I do? And it was extremely frustrating because I felt like I couldn't cope. And then that made me angry with myself, because it made me feel like I'm not even able to, follow anything, what I want, or actually to even decide what do I want. So
yeah, like make a decision because it's too much. Yeah.
Totally stuck, and like, I don't know. So I was like,
you've been stuck.
Absolutely. It kind of felt like, I mean, I did realize there was some kind of pattern running in my life, but I was unable to identify what it was. It kind of felt like I was working so hard. I was like a hamster in a wheel, running and trying to resolve it. And sometimes it kind of felt like it shifted a little bit and I was heading into the right direction, but then something happened and I would go back to my old pattern, and I just could not find a way out. And I knew there was a problem somewhere, but I didn't know what it was.
Did you feel like that before the lockdown? Because you said it's...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the overwhelm that was ongoing.
So how long you've been dealing with overwhelmed? How long did you feel like that?
Well, probably for about, I don't know, I guess almost 3 decades. Yeah, pretty much almost 30 years. It was kind of on and off.
Yeah. And have you tried to fix that before you met me, before I was...
Yes, I tried various things. I tried meditation, I tried journaling, I tried yoga to help me with my focus. I tried a variety of self-development books, techniques, strategies, you name it. I tried a lot, but everything was kind of like I would start doing it. I would try to develop a new routine, and it would work for a little bit, but then somehow I reverted back to my old habits, and I was back to overwhelm because, again, I couldn't make a decision on what to follow, basically. So yeah, I tried many things, but I would never stick to.
Because you were working with your conscious mind, so you were going back to that pattern, to something you've been programmed probably in your childhood. Yeah, now you know, because we had this session, but that's why when you try it doesn't work, because it's in your belief system. So you're a very rational and logical and intelligent woman, and yet you couldn't figure it out because it was deep down in your subconscious mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was actually making me really frustrated and, quite frankly, angry. The emotion was
that was my next question. Well, how did that feel for you? Like, it's frustrating, it's making you angry because you feel like you're out of control, like you can't control everything, you can't find free time for yourself. I thought that was the issue. There's too many things to do and you're losing your focus.
It was basically the thing of not knowing what the issue was, and if you don't know what the issue is, then you can't find solution to it.
What were your thoughts about hypnosis before you had that session with me? You said you've tried hypnosis before.
Yes, and because I am a very rational person, so I was under the impression that I'm not going to be easily hypnotized because I'm not susceptible to that. So that's, of course, limiting belief in itself. But that was my belief about that.
And that previous session was not about overwhelm, was it?
No, oh yes, that was actually about quitting smoking.
And
that didn't work, yes.
Didn't work. So can you describe the experience with me? Can you describe how the session went and what happened in the session?
Right. So basically, initially we had a consultation to decide on the problem or the issue that we were aiming to resolve. And through a series of questions, you identify what it was that I wanted to work on, but also what was the end result that I wanted, in a sense, how I wanted to feel afterwards, what I wanted to get as the outcome of the session. And you took notes, you took it away, and then we had another session, I think about a week afterwards, which was 2 hours. And that was basically where you guided me into the hypnotic state, which surprisingly I got into. And then you were giving me questions, and I had to answer them from my experience. So you kind of guided me back to the event that has caused me to create the belief, which was creating the pattern of overwhelm. And most things happen in a childhood. And this was about the age of, I think, 8. And basically, it was quite challenging for me because it was very emotionally charged. So I didn't want to go back to that situation because I remember that as a painful event. So I was trying to avoid going.
I remember that,
that. And you were bringing me back, and you kept asking more questions that were leading me a little bit more, like, deeper into it, to really try to find the cause. And I remember that at a certain point, again, I got literally stuck because you asked me a question and I was like, I kind of know what you're saying, but I can't quite find the answer for that. because it's kind of like my ego was trying to protect me from the pain of going into it. And I didn't know what to say. So you basically paraphrased what I said before. And I was like, I kind of know the answer, but I still don't know. So then you basically repeated what you said in a different way. And I was like, light bulb moment. And I was like, oh,
yeah, you had that.
All these years, I never realized that basically, because my mom created this the situation for me when she kept repeatedly asking me things to do. It was never finished, and she was never happy with the results. So basically, she created this belief in me that I was not enough. And no matter what I do, it's never going to be enough anyway. So basically, because as a child, you see your parent as an authority and you don't question what they say or do. So in my mind, I basically created a pattern of overwhelm. That way I could never finish what I started. So I could never complete anything. And therefore, I was sort of confirming what my mother was saying, such as, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
It's twisted, but that's basically what happened.
You've been
and quite frankly, like, without you like guiding me through the process and asking the questions and really insisting on me delivering the answers to it, I would not go that deep. I would just not go there.
Can you say you would never figure it out on your own with your logical brain?
I don't think I would, because as I said, it was my perception of that situation, such as, that was too painful, I'm not going back there. There's no way, I'm just not going back there. But it's also, it was quite important that you kind of offered different perspective on what happened. You reframed it. And it was also the empathy that you offered, because you were listening actively. And it was basically the kind of, you gave me in a way the permission to accept what happened. And it happened, and the situation was not perfect, but I was doing the best I could at that given time. And there's nothing wrong with it. So therefore, there's nothing wrong with me. So you kind of gave me the permission to accept myself, and then accept that that was when I was a child. That happened a long time ago. It's no longer who I am right now. So I can let it go, leave it in the past, learn from it, and move on.
You said at the beginning that you were fighting with your ego. You thought it's hard to hypnotize you, but did you feel safe with me all the way? Because a lot of people are scared of getting into hypnosis because they think, I'm going to tell them to do things they don't want to do, or I'm going to make them feel stupid. Did you feel safe with me on that journey? Because I felt like we were there together, and I'm there with you to help you find that root cause and heal it.
Yes, I think the most important thing for me was that I trusted you, and I felt safe enough to share my experience with you, because I'm quite a private person, so I don't open to people easily. But because I could feel, you know, your energy, and I liked it, I decided that you're the right person for me. That's why I'm going to go for it.
That's nice to hear. I just had goosebumps. Thank you for saying that. So can you tell me, how did you feel straight after the session? Because I remember what I've seen. I know your face was all brightened up, and I knew that worked. But can you say how you felt straight after the session?
I felt very relieved, as if some heavy weight was lifted off my shoulders, because as I said, all these years I've been sort of punishing myself.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that wasn't there anymore. So it was very liberating. I felt very free that I can now move on and live my life the way I want. I can create the life I want for myself. I mean, straight afterwards the session, I was very tired, like an emotion, like on the mental level and also on a physical level, because all these emotions been there all these years. It's within the body. It's kind of the
They're
memory.
heavy emotions like anger, shame, blame. This is all heavy stuff. So when you release it, you are tired.
Yes. So yes, I was very tired. I slept like 14 hours straight, but I felt great the next day. And you also gave me meditation to do for another 21 days.
Yeah, that's the recording. Yeah,
which I did, and every day I could feel stronger, and I found more confidence in myself, because I was reinforcing the kind of the new story that we created together. But this time it was my decision what the story was going to be like.
I love that description. Yeah, because you were empowered to believe that you've got the choice now how to build your life, and you're in control of your life. And that's what I wanted to give you in the session. So you decide what to do.
Yes, it was basically like being born again.
Yeah.
This time I choose to who I want to be, what kind of person I'm going to be, what kind of life I'm going to create. It's my decision. And basically, I'm the creator of my life, in a sense.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I remember before the session, I think when I asked you, what's your score on the scale of 1 to 10 on the overwhelm, you were 8. And then when we had follow-up call 2 weeks after, I think you said 3 or 4. And that was amazing for me because I could observe that progress, and you were giving yourself permission to prioritize yourself and having fun, not being overwhelmed with everything what's going on around. And that was amazing to see that. How do you feel right now? It's been 2 months, I think. How does life change?
Yes, it's been about 2 months, and of course, life is not perfect, and sometimes quite a lot of opportunities or offers come. But I noticed that I'm able to be more selective, and especially when it comes to what I'm going to spend my time on, I'm able to prioritize what's important to me right now, what do I want to do right now, what is maybe and what is not. So I'm basically more in control of my life. So I feel that I'm managing way better than before. And of course, there are sometimes moments when, because I'm presenting with, let's say, a lot of choices, then I might slightly feel temporarily overwhelmed, but I'm able to quickly navigate through it and decide what's important. And that way I resolve it.
Yeah, because now you know that you have a choice to stop yourself and reframe it, what's important for you and is it good for you or not. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I would say that I have been successfully healed. And if somebody told me before, you can do 1 session and you will be healed, I would be like, yeah, right. Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah, you were very skeptical because you're like, oh, I'm rational.
Yeah, actually, I was quite skeptical because, as I said, I'm a very rational person, and also, if I haven't tried something, I'm questioning it a lot. So, so considering my initial skepticism, my outcome of the session way overcome my expectations.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. So what would you say to people who are putting off fixing their issues and frustrations because people are like, oh, it doesn't matter right now, it's not that big deal, You know, time heals the pain, and let's not go back to it. Is it really healthy to just bury your problems, leave it behind? Because people are scared that if they go there, it is painful. I prefer to avoid therapy. I don't want to even think about it. What would you say to those people who think, I'll be fine? Because you know that you will be triggered, and it may be in different part of your life, because you're not child anymore, but it may reflect on your business, for example. Even though if you are hurt in your love life or by your parents, it may show up in different area of your life. You know that now after that session. What would you say to that people? Because there's loads of people hesitating that it's better to leave it behind and just move forward.
I would say if you choose to be passive, then that's crazy, because you are literally relying on something else to make a decision for you. But as a person, if you take personal responsibility for your life, you can then make the choices to create the life that you want to live. So it is a personal decision, and as much as I appreciate that we all, as a human beings, we naturally trying to avoid pain and will do anything to avoid it. However, that is a saying, the light is through the pain. And it's true. Unless you decide that you want to create different results, you can't do that without basically accepting what happened, looking at it from different perspective, learn from the experience, and decide and let go and decide how you're going to move forward. So it's like, I mean, like the analogy would be like, if you're going to walk, you're going to step on a piece of glass, it's going to get stuck in your heel. And you can still continue walking, and it's a little bit painful. It's not so bad. You can somehow live with it, but you won't be able to do things that you enjoy, like dancing, running. It will continuously impair your life.
Yeah.
So then you have to make the decision. Do I want to, go to the doctor? They're going to remove it. It might be painful. They might need stitches. That might be painful. But it's going to be painful for only a short period of time. And after that, it heals. Yeah. And afterwards, you're free to live the life the way you want. There's nothing inhibiting you. So the choice is a personal choice. Do you want to just live the way you are because it's not so bad? So at least you know what it is.
Yeah.
Or do you want to maybe embrace the pain? Because at the end of the day, these are just emotions, and you feel them, and you let them go, and you move on.
Yeah. And I think you see how beneficial it was in a big picture. So spending 2 hours resolving it is not a huge challenge, isn't it? Because we've done it in 2 hours, and your life has changed greatly.
Yes, I mean, the way people are going to respond to it is individual. We all are different, and depending on how deeply rooted the issues are, but also depending on how willing the person is to, as I said, embrace the pain, let it go, and move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a collaboration between you and your client.
And what's the biggest thing that has changed after that session with me?
What's the biggest thing that has changed? I would say,
I can tell you've got control over your life, but I'm thinking for you, what's the biggest thing?
Yes. I would say it's the sense of freedom, that I'm the person who makes the choice. and it gives me this inner peace and strength and confidence that whatever life throws at me, I will be able to deal with that. So in a way, I learned to trust myself and my ability to deal with life the best way I can. So it's the freedom that it gives you to make your own choices. So because in a way, the world is very chaotic. You don't have control over many things that are happening outside. So the only thing you can control is the choices that you make. So basically, how you're going to respond to what's happening externally around you. That is your personal choice, and you have control over that. So that gave me the confidence to deal with whatever life throws at me.
Yeah, you know that even though times are uncertain and life will throw shit your direction, you can handle it because now you've got phenomenal coping skills and you can collaborate with your mind because you know you're in control and it's your choice what you do. That's just amazing. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy we had that session. Thank you so much. That's all the questions really for today. I'm really grateful that we could do that interview together. I hope this will help people who are hesitating to make the move and make decision to change their life, because it's just easier to live the way things are, because it's painful to face the past. Sometimes it's not enough to just leave the past behind you and move on, because it will trigger you. Things will trigger you and reflect on different areas of your life, because your mind knows the best, and it will self-sabotage your actions and destroy things for you. So if you are considering hypnotherapy session, I hope this interview will help you to make decision about changing your life. My name is Anna. Thank you very much, Lena. I help stressed and overwhelmed women to deal with self-doubt and self-sabotage, to gain confidence, clarity, and recognition. And I'm so happy to hear that that worked for Lena perfectly. And I wish you all the best. Maybe we could do another session sometime on different issues.
I'm open to that, definitely.
That's how we build amazing relationship. Thank you so much, and thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, just drop the comment below and I'll try to help you. Thank you.
Thank you.